Hey there, budding botanists. I'm Aaron.
I'm Evie.
We're just a couple of backyard botanists, and this is Botany for Kids. And I guess technically we're in our front yard today. So today, what are we talking about?
Gladiolus.
We're talking about gladiolus. And here we have a show.
Just gladiolus.
Yeah. So this is the genus Gladiolus. What family is it in?
The iris.
It's in the iris family. We've talked about the iris family before. We've even seen glads before because we talked about Byzantine glads. But today we have a different gladiola that we're going to feature. You want to show them that gladiola a little closer? So just a little closer. You can see here, this is a ruby glad.
It's pretty.
Gladiolus papilio ruby, because this one has deep ruby red flowers. And it looks like we just kind of broke that one down a little bit. Let's see if we can, well, hey, now we can show it to you nice and close. So, this is, you want to show them? Hold that.
Yeah.
This is Gladiola ruby. And so, gladiolus are in the iris family, and like other members of the iris family, what do their leaves look like?
We have,
What do we see that's straight in there?
the lines, the veins.
Yes, they have straight veins.
Can't see it.
They also have how many petals?
3.
How many sepals?
3.
Yes, and for a total of 6 tepals, because all of these, show them that flower a little bit closer. All of these, go ahead and show them. All of these look similar, right? There are 3 sepals on the outside and 3 petals on the inside, but all 6 of those we call tepals because they all look similar, all right? Now, gladiolus grow from a swollen stem underground. You remember what that's called? Corm. Yes, they have a swollen stem under the ground that looks like a little bulb. It's called a corm, C-O-R-M. And that's where they store their energy over the winter. And then the next year, they use all that energy to grow up and tall the following season. Now, this gladiolus papilio that we call ruby is what we call a species glad. And species glads are different than the glads that you see in most gardens. Do you remember why that is, Evie?
Because these ones are natural. Because
these are natural.
The other ones are like specially bred to look super pretty.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that these aren't pretty. They're saying that these aren't pretty, but they're trying to make them bigger and bigger.
Yes, so they
look better for like commercial.
Exactly right. So most of the gladiolus that you see in most gardens are hybrids. They took natural gladiolus like this papilio, and then they saw one that had really big flowers or that were really showy or really fancy, and then they crossed it. They took the pollen and they put it on the pistil of another flower, and then they kept those seeds. And then, yes, the pistil, the carpel, remember the female part of the flower. And then they planted those seeds, and then they grew up into bigger and fancier flowers. But this is a species glad, and this is how you find it in nature, all right? So we're actually here in the garden today because I don't technically have the heart to go around and cut down these rubies that are growing. So what we'll do is we'll take a closer look at some of the other glads in the garden, and then we'll do a review.
Yep.
Let's go take a closer look. Now here we're looking at a different species of glad. This gladiola is called Gladiola Delaneyi. This one's called Boone because it was found in Boone, North Carolina, growing outside of a power line right away. So this one's a really good example of how you can see the 3 sepals on the outside and the 3 petals on the end. Now if we look closer and zoom in, you can also see the stamens, or those anthers covered in pollen, and then this 3-parted stigma, which is the tip of the pistil, or the female part of the flower in there.
Welcome back.
All right, so one more time, things that we know about gladiolus. What family are they in? The iris family. The fancy science word for that is Iridaceae. And this has leaves that have what?
They have vertical veins.
Yep, they have straight veins in the leaves. They have How many? Yes, there's a lady walking by the street. How many petals?
6. No, 3.
3 petals, 3 sepals for a total of
6.
6 tepals. Yes, they grow from a swollen stem underground that stores energy that we call a
Corm.
corm. Yes, absolutely. So that is a gladiolus. Now this time of year, you may see these big, fancy, and sometimes they're called sword lilies because they're long and tall like swords. The only problem is they're not in the lily family at all, so that's a misnomer. But this time of year,
it's the iris family.
Yes, it's the iris family. So if you see big, tall, beautiful flowers that look like swords growing in people's yards or
there's another flower
around other buildings, then you may see some gladiolus. All right, so if you get a chance, maybe grab a responsible adult and see if you can go find some. As always, I'm Aaron.
I'm Evie.
And we're just a couple of backyard botanists, and this is
Botany for Kids. Bye.